Hey everybody, it is Crystal Milligan here, and I am really excited to be coming to you to share this awesome new training with you guys. I just got back from Summit, which is our national convention for the year, and have tons of amazing energy and information that was just flooded into my brain. And I've also been doing the High Performance Academy with Brennan Bouchard virtually. And so I've been getting so much great information, and I wanted to just take a minute to share some of these tips and these strategies for high performance and greater productivity with you guys today. I'm going to aim to keep this short and sweet, but I have a ton of information for you. So I need you to get a pen and paper or get your phone out so you can take some notes, because you're going to want to take notes. I'm going to give you 3 different sets of bullet points that you'll want to write down. It's going to be a lot of information coming at you, but I know that it's going to be really positive. And if you just start implementing a little bit of it, depending on where you're at in your business and as a coach, I know that you will benefit greatly. So before we get into the high performance and the greater productivity, like I said in the post, in the headline for this video, first, you have to be doing the baseline. First, you have to be good before you can become great. And so the high performance is the greatness, and it's that greater productivity. But if you're not being productive in the first place, you can't take it to that greatness level. You have to start at that baseline. And so that's what I'm going to talk about first. I want to address the baseline. So if you are a brand new coach, this applies to you, is if you've never been, let's just call it like it is, all in or serious about your business and treated your business as a $1 million opportunity that it is, then you are probably needing to listen to this baseline opportunity. So first of all, we're going to have a couple different bullet points, but first is that you need to take responsibility. Take responsibility. 100% for your business. No excuses. You are going to be the best coach that you can possibly be. And how are you going to do that, right? If you are busy working, you're not going to have time to complain. Average people complain. You are not here to be average. So stop making the excuses. Stop complaining. If bad things happen, if people tell you no, if all of this stuff is going down, there is a reason for it. Take 100% responsibility. Achievers create results, right? And when you start taking responsibility, you become an achiever. You become someone who creates results. So do not blame it on your upline. Do not blame it on your success partner. Do not blame it on your team. Do not blame it on your spouse or anyone else, because you need to take responsibility. You are in control of the effort that you put into this, the amount of time that you work, the choices that you make on a daily basis, and what you prioritize. So what matters is that you are committed and you have a choice, like I just said, in how you respond and the decisions that you make. So number 1, take 100% responsibility. Are you ready to do that? I sure hope so, because you're going to be that much better when you do. All right, number 2, you need to put fitness first. If you came into this and you're like, I don't like fitness, that's okay. That's okay. We don't all do the things that we like all the time. Do you see the potential in this opportunity? Do you want to become better? Do you want to lead a healthier life? All successful entrepreneurs who put fitness into their life, they make it a priority, have better energy, have better moods, are more productive. And so you need to put fitness first. It is a huge factor in your energy and your success levels. Do you want to eat and drink to win? Are you going to have water? Or are you going to have tequila? Are you going to have fruits and veggies? Or are you going to go through the drive-thru? Do you want to feel like crap the next day and feel like you have a total food hangover or an alcohol hangover? And I'm not saying that you have to be 100% a saint and you have to completely live this super strict fitness life, but you need to think, how am I being affected by what I put into my body and what I do with it on a regular basis? Are you getting enough rest? Are you exercising to win? If you do that, if you work out and treat your body like the amazing piece of beautiful work that it is, if you put that effort into it, it's going to give it back to you tenfold. So what you're eating is totally affecting your performance. If you're sluggish, if you need that coffee or that you're craving that chocolate in the middle of the afternoon, there's a reason why. And if you start focusing on clean eating and healthy nutrition and really treating your body well and starting your day off with some movement the way that our body was created for, you will perform better. When you sleep well, you will perform better. You know how much sleep you need. You know how much rest you need when you feel at your peak. So aim to start doing that. I know that you might think like, oh, I can't, I have babies. Oh, I can't because I have a job. Oh, I can't because I have this. Stop making excuses. Take 100% responsibility. Go back to number one, like what we just said, and make it happen. If it takes a little by little over a period of time, that is okay, because you're working on being the best version of you that you can be, and that is what counts, and that is what's most important, right? It's not going to be easy. It's probably going to take time, and that's okay, because it's totally 100% worth it. So put fitness first. And then you need to start to systemize your world. This is number 3. Systemize your world. I thrive off of not having a plan. I thrive. I'm like the master procrastinator. But it's when I realized that that was affecting my business, was when I finally started to realize, okay, I need to plan things. I need to systemize things. It's going to make my life easier. I always talk about being like the hot mess express or the living in the chaos type of person. But the more intentional and focused that I live in my whole entire life, not just in my business, but in my whole entire life, the better I am. The more calm that I am, the more productive that I am, the more that I get things done. So I want you to actually plan things. Don't live by your phone. Don't let your phone control you. Don't let everybody else control your schedule in the daytime. You are your own boss, and you're going to create your schedule. Sure, things happen from time to time, but we are not going to let the world control us. We're going to control what we can. So that means, for example, shutting off your phones while you're working. Shutting off that you get notifications from Facebook and Insta and Snapchat and whatever else you're doing all day long, right? Shutting off that you have to answer messages every single time, the instant that someone messages you, because God forbid you don't answer back right away, they could go somewhere else. Let it be, guys. Let it be. Set boundaries from the get-go so you don't become overwhelmed. We want success, smart success, as Chalene Johnson says, not stressed success. So aim to start systemizing your world. Have a plan. And maybe you need to work with it and tweak it. If you're a brand new coach, you need to figure out what system works best for you, and that's okay. What plan is going to fit best into your life, and that will change as you move and grow and become a different person over the years, and that's okay. But you need to make sure that you're systemizing your world. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Number 4, last one for this, is committing to your process. Commit to your process. Commit to it. I've said this before in a training, and I have it on YouTube. You can look it up if you need to, because I'm not going to go into it for very long. But commit to being here a year from now. Success does not happen overnight. We get into that mode where we think, this should be happening already. Why isn't this happening? Maybe it's not for me, blah, 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 blah. And we feed our mind with all of this negative BS, right? Commit to your process. So this means show up every single flipping day. Show up every single flipping day. This is a business. Treat it like such. If you had invested $100,000 into this, or even $30,000 into this, I'm pretty sure that you'd show up every single day. If you opened up an ice cream shop or a restaurant or a gym, you're not just going to shut down whenever you feel like it. You're not just going to go on this whim and just kind of lackadaisical, kind of half, you know what, make it happen. No, you're going to show up every single day. So commit to your process, but you need to remember to try to not be emotionally attached to the results. So I want you to focus on your effort and the time and effort that you are putting into the activities that will move your business forward. Don't emotionally connect yourself to the results. I know that's a challenge, but I am challenging you to do it right now. Every result you desire from fitness and business is preceded by a process to produce a result. And when you define your process and commit to it, that's when the results will come. So do you have a plan? Do you write down what your goals are for the year, for the month, for the 6 months, for the 5 years, for the week, for the day? Are you committed to making this process happen? Are you being intentional, and are you being focused? So that is how you are good. When you are focused on those 4 things and you are making those happen on a regular basis, you are pretty flippin' good, right? So how do you go from good to great? How do you go from good to great? So we're at the 10-minute mark now. So here we go. We're cruising on to the next part, guys. This is Brendon Burchard's 5x50 formula for greater productivity and energy. 5 things that I'm going to talk about that I want you to implement into your life. I have started implementing these probably about 2 months ago myself. I was listening. I've listened to this talk that he gave, and then I also I've been listening to Miracle Morning, and these all play in together. They all say the same thing, just a slightly different way. But if you listen to all the stories in the Miracle Morning, or you hear what I'm going to tell you right now, you will realize that the successful people have a set routine. They have certain habits that they make part of their life. I wasn't doing these things originally. I was doing probably exactly what you're doing, but I have gotten so much more productivity and energy and control over my schedule when I do these things and when I implement these things on a regular basis. It is becoming a part of who I am now. So I need to share this with you, and you need to start implementing it. Okay, so this is how we're going to take it to that greatness level. 5 habits to increase your productivity by up to 30%. What? Okay. 1, write it down. 50 minutes more sleep. Most people are not sleeping enough. And you know what happens when you don't sleep enough? You function like you are drunk. You function like a drunk person, okay? So you function so that your reaction time is slower, you're more tired, you're more lethargic, you're going to probably eat more out of control. That goes back to the stuff that we talked about in the beginning about being good in the first place. Sleep. You need to make sure that you're getting 50 minutes more sleep. So if you're averaging that 8 hours that you need, some of you might be doing that, and that's fantastic. For me, gosh, I know that I need sleep. If I go more than a day or 2 without my 8 hours, I am a different person. I am an angry mama. I treat everyone differently. I eat differently. I am just angry. And that is not going to be productive for your business. That's not good energy. That's not going to be what you want to attract. So you know where you need to go. If you have a newborn baby, like, I get it. Like, stuff happens when you have kids or when you have an overnight job or whatever else. This is what you're going to do. You're going to work on getting better. You're going to control what you have the power to control. So maybe you don't need to have 15 minutes more sleep, but let's be honest with yourself. Most of you probably do, and so you need to work on it. Maybe you start with just 15 minutes of sleep. Maybe you start somewhere. Again, don't make excuses. Ask empowering questions. How can I make this happen? Because I would love to be more productive and have more energy. So how can I work to make this happen? Not, oh, I just can't do that. That's not possible for me. Empowering questions, not excuses. Start getting in that mode and you're going to be so much better for it. You're going to thrive emotionally, mentally, and spiritually when you are well rested. Number 2, 50-minute power block. So this is a morning stretch and strategize block of time. So first thing in the morning, this is what you should do. First thing in the morning, number 1 rule, do not check social media or your inbox first thing in the morning. And this is where I was epically failing, you guys. I was epically failing at this. I was just like, that's the first thing I would do. I would go in and then that would control my day. That would control my mood. And guess what happens? Sometimes we get some great, awesome messages and we're like, yes, I feel so good. This is so awesome. Yeah. But a lot of times we get wah, wah from customers or coaches of ours, or we see things and we're like, oh, really? And that's setting the tone for the day for us mentally before we can get anywhere else, before we can set ourselves up for success. We're letting that control us. It's proven in studies that if you check social media or your inbox within the first hour of the day, your productivity goes down 30%. That's the opposite of what we want. That's not what we want. We want it to go up 30%, not down. Okay, so don't do that. Commit. Even if this is the one thing that you do, commit to that alone and let's see what it can do for you. So this is ideally something along what you'd like to do. 1, drink a ton of water, because guess what? Water is going to hydrate you. It's going to give you energy, and it's going to start you off on a really positive, healthy note for the day. So drink a lot of water. Throw some lemon in there if you want to. You can warm it up a little bit if you want to. You can throw some apple cider vinegar in there if you want to. Just drink some stinking water. Okay, so drink some water. Then you should either be doing some kind of movement. For me, it's my workout. For you, it might be a walk around the block. It could be a stretch just to wake up and get your body and your blood flowing, because we've been so stagnant all night long that we're kind of like, you know? So you need to move, and then you need to strategize. So this might look differently for everybody, but you're setting up your day. What does my to-do list look like? Maybe you wrote it the night before and you're just going over it. Maybe you look at your calendar and you see what you have to do. Whatever it might be, you are strategizing, and that's what's happening within that first hour of the day, that first 50 minutes. For me, this looks like this. I say, what are my priorities, right? I wake up, I chug a ton of water. Then I do my daily quiet time. I spend time reading my Bible and writing the Word. Then I write my goals and affirmations that I have been doing, so I can visualize where I want to be and what do I want to accomplish and be in a positive mindset to do so. Then I listen to a little clip by Darren Hardy each morning about some kind of personal development to set me up on the right path. Then I go and I do my workout, and then after that is when I get onto social media and make things happen. I do the rest of my personal development, like usually when I'm in the car or whatever, I'm running errands and stuff, on audio throughout the day. But that's what mine looks like. That's what my morning looks like. That's what my 50-minute power block looks like. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer depending on how long my workout is, that kind of thing. But I do strategize. I do write down my to-do list. I see what I have to do so I know what I'm going to tackle for the day. That's number 2. Okay, that's a big, big chunk of it. So it's going to be huge if you set yourself up on the right note at the beginning of the day. That's going to be huge for setting you up for success. Number 3, do 50-minute blocks of time. This is a little bit tricky, but again, we're asking empowering questions. We are not making excuses. So ideally, you would have 1 to 3 blocks of this time when you are working, where you turn your messages off, where you put your phone away, and where you get it done, right? So 50-minute time blocks, 50 minutes. I tend to think like, oh, I'm on a roll. I got to keep going. I want to do whatever. And go for an hour and a half or 2 hours. I only have so much time. My kids are actually being quiet. Oh my gosh, take advantage of it. That's me. But we need to stop, because studies again show that 50 minutes is that productivity time. So at that 50-minute mark, if you have to set a timer, if you have to, whatever trigger that you have to do it and make sure that you get it done. 50 minutes, get up. Guess what? Get some more water so you're hydrated. You have that energy. Get a snack if you want to. Walk around for a second. Get out of that chair, because we're stuck in this chair all day, right? And then come back and start again, right? And then start again, and you will be more productive. Hands down, it's proven. It is. So aim for those 50-minute blocks of times that are ideally uninterrupted as you can possibly get. Then we're going to have that break. Like I said, the number 4 is that 10-minute break or so. Chalene Johnson talks about this, so he's reiterating it. Brenda Bouchard's reiterating it. We're going to set the alarm. We're going to be more effective. We're going to be less stressed. We're going to get stuff done. We're going to water, stretch, move during each break. I don't want you to start doing something else like doing chores, folding the laundry, doing whatever else. Don't get distracted, but just aim to move and hydrate, okay? And then last but not least, 50-minute renewal. This is the challenging part for me, the renewal part. I like to go, go, go. And one of these is probably going to be really challenging for you, but I want you to put your effort into it and really, again, instead of making excuses, try to ask empowering questions. How can I make this happen? So 50 minutes of renewal. So renewal, he talks about, could be meditation, prayer, something like that, and then combined with some kind of activity. So maybe you don't work out first thing in the morning. Maybe that's not doable for you. So maybe you come and you do it at a different part of the day, when you get home, after the kids are in bed, whatever that might be for you. And so it's 30 minutes of movement and 20 minutes of that renewal time. So for me, I tend to split it up. Like I said, I have my time. I spend with my Bible and spend with God in the morning. That's why one of my priorities. So that's why I do it first thing in the morning, to remember that that is first in my life. But renewal, if we can take some time to renew. And so this is on a level that should be daily, and it could be small. So like for me, I love to take walks. I love to just get outside, breathe the fresh air, appreciate where I live, appreciate my family, move my body, you know, and just renew myself, right? It could be on, you know, monthly basis, going to get your nails done even, or getting a massage, or going to the coffee shop and just sitting by yourself and reading a really good book, or, you know, hanging out with your best friend, whatever it might be, whatever it causes you some renewal. You need to really make sure that you are including that into your life, because we can't just go, 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 go all the time. We are not Superwoman and Superman. As much as we'd like to think that we are, we need that renewal, and that's really important. Okay, and then the last 5 things that I'm going to share with you. I know I'm giving you guys a lot, but these are the last 5 things. Let's see, we are at about 20 minutes, so we're doing really well. 5 more minutes, and then we'll be done. 5 daily strategies for high performance psychology, right? Psychology-wise, because guess what? Our biggest antagonist? What our biggest nemesis is? It's ourself. We are the ones who defeat ourselves the most often. We are the ones that bring ourselves down. We are so negative and we treat ourselves so poorly. And that sucks, you guys, you know, because like, so this is some strategies that I want you to start considering, that I want you to really start paying attention to. And so you're going to write these down to really change that. So Number one, because it is all a mindset, and the better off that we can become with our mindset, the more successful that we're going to be. Because when we let life control us and people around us control us and these jobs that we don't like control us, we get into this negative mode. We let people control us and our attitude and our emotions. And we need to empower ourselves. And so these are some strategies of how to do that. So number one, you want to trigger intention. Intention. Our psychology is only what we want it to be if we give awareness to it. And if we have intention in how we want to think, feel, and interact with others, we're setting ourselves up to be much better. So we can't just expect this to happen. That's where the trigger part comes in, right? So we can't just think like, oh, I'm going to be more intentional and it's just going to be amazing and life will just happen. It will just blossom and bloom and be handed to me on a silver platter. No, it doesn't work like that, right? So we need to trigger it. So what are some things, some times, some reminders, some cues? What are some things that we can do? The alarm goes off on your phone. That's a reminder. So maybe you set the alarm on your phone for every single day. Ask the question, are you being intentional? What did you accomplish today? And it's as simple as that. Maybe you have Post-it notes on your mirror that are affirmations that will set you off on the right note. Maybe you have reminders on your dashboard of your car, or maybe you journal on a regular basis so that you know, am I living this life the way that I want to? Am I always going to be perfect? Heck no, but am I making progress? And that's what's really most important. We will forget to do this if we don't have a trigger. And so all of these things that I just told you prior to this, that stuff about being the good and getting that baseline down, those initial first things that I told you, and then the stuff that I just gave you for the greater productivity and energy, those tips that I gave you, if you don't implement them, if you don't set a trigger, it's not going to happen. And I see so much of this. The only reason why I have accomplished this morning routine in the past 2 months and set myself up for success is because I triggered myself to do it. I had to remind myself. I had to set my little journals up so that I would write my stuff daily. I had my Bible right there and ready. I have the water right here, so it's visually right there before I do anything. And then I had to be disciplined. And did I do it perfectly every single day? Absolutely not. But I have gotten better and better and better. And that made it easier and easier and easier for me to do over time. And now I crave that morning routine. So set a trigger, because you're not just naturally going to make it happen. Most people will not just do that. Ask yourself, what are the things that you just naturally made happen in the past? Probably not a whole lot. You need to be reminded. You need to be held accountable. So set that trigger, whatever it might be, and trigger the intention. Number 2, project positivity. People suck at this, right? People suck at this. This is what Brendon Burchard said. Are you emanating positivity? So don't wait to have the energy. So smile, say something nice to somebody, compliment somebody, be that person. Because when you project it onto others, think of what you're going to attract, right? If you're like Miss Complainer, Negative Nancy, probably you're going to attract that same exact thing. So don't wait for someone else to bring you the motivation to do any of that, to inspire you. You need to be that for yourself. You need to project positivity. And hey, if you have to trigger it, if you have to write a note for yourself every single day in multiple different places, then do it. Then do it. 3, take the time to be kind and appreciative. This is a huge part of our 4th vital behavior. It's recognition, right? And that is being kind and appreciative. It's not just about how do you think, but it's about how do you do. So if our mindset is in the right place, oh yeah, I'm positive, that's great. But if you're not showing it by being kind and appreciative to others, then you're not taking action on that, right? So we tend to stray away from this because we're so busy that we don't take the time to say thank you or to send a note to somebody or sell And we need to become better at that. We need to be kind and appreciative, because that is going to come back tenfold to you when you do that, and it's going to help your business and your psychology. If you're focused on being kind and appreciative, the negative stuff is not going to bother you as much. So that brings me to number 4. Release and recast negativity. Don't let it in. And this is hard. I get it. It's hard. But the world is drowning in its own pessimism. And a lot of times it's because we allow that into our lives. For me, this might not be for you, but for me, I don't watch the news. I don't. There's a lot of crap going on in the world. A lot. Let's be the positive light in the world. Let's be the ones who are aiming to change the world and make it a better place. Let's not be pessimists, and let's not get sucked into the negativity. So it will affect you at some point. You are going to have bad days. You're going to have bad days, and hopefully those bad days will, once you start to get a grip on this, will turn into just bad hours and bad moments. And then, yeah, you'll still have them from time to time, but they'll happen less and less. And so when you have it, sometimes we're just like yesterday, I was in a funk. I have no idea why. I didn't feel like talking to anybody. I didn't feel like being around anybody. I wanted nothing to do with anybody. And I was like, gosh, I need to like step away right now and get over myself. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I need to get over myself. And so we need to accept it, deal with it, and then get over it. It's a choice to let your emotions rule you, or you can choose to change it. Right? So are you going to stay stuck in that and get all like angry and whatever and like, why? What is that going to do for real? Like, seriously, ask yourself, be logical, right? Stop for a second, release and recast that negativity. Think to yourself, what do I want to focus on? What do I want to attract? I'm pretty sure it's not negativity. So don't be that if you don't want to attract that. Release it and recast it. And then number 5, final thing before we cut out and you're done. Generate and find enthusiasm every single day. Every single day. It's like the same thing what I said earlier. Don't look to find the people that are going to motivate you. Don't look at it in. Self-internalize. We can generate that, right? So when we don't jump into messages, this is exactly why we don't jump into messages first thing in the morning. This is why instead we do personal development. We get our minds in the right place. That is how we are generating enthusiasm. Maybe you watch an awesome YouTube video to start out your day. Maybe you read the Bible. Maybe you are doing the Darren Hardy thing that I do every day that he sends right into your inbox, right? Don't just jump into your messages. Generate that positivity. Find that enthusiasm. Do your personal development first. Get your mindset right. Empower yourself first thing. And then even ask, how can I make someone's day better today? And this is one of the things that we should be doing as coaches. How can I add value into people's lives? How can I make that happen? How can I make someone's life a little bit better today? Maybe it's that recognition that we talked about earlier, being kind and appreciative. Maybe it's shooting someone a little message, a thank you note. Maybe it's just putting up something of value that really speaks to somebody and sharing your heart and your story. Whatever that might be, these are some strategies that are going to help you with the psychology and help to get you in the right mindset so that you can start to move forward and be successful. So I hope that you got a ton out of that. Biggest call to action is you need to start implementing it. Not all of it. Just start with one thing, maybe 2. Let me know what those things are that you're going to start implementing. Post that. And then I would love to see where you are in just even a couple of weeks from now or even just a month from now. I want to hear how your progress is. So if you have any questions, post below. And I look forward to talking to you again sometime soon. Have a great night, guys.